All right. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hello to you too.
How you
I'm
guys
Derek.
doing? Steven.
Welcome to the RC Lawn Chair Pilots podcast.
All right.
Yeah. And welcome back.
Hey, how's everybody going?
How's everybody going?
Yeah. How you doing?
It's good English.
What? How's everybody doing? Doing. Whatever. Hey, it's all fine. You know what?
We're not professional.
It's a couple days after our time change here in Utah, and I have not had a good night's sleep yet. So give me 3 more weeks, and I'll be almost back to normal. Whatever normal is.
Normal's rough for you. So, yeah. Well, at least you don't have 3 kids under the age of 5
Nope.
to train to that schedule.
I don't have a single kid under 5, so that's the thing.
Yep. All right. Enough about us.
Let's get
now
into
for more
this.
about us.
What do we got going on? So
Hang
you
on,
got
I
some.
changed apps. Okay. So first off, I switched apps on my phone.
It's like we know what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. It's like we've done this before. It's not. This isn't episode 19.
Nope. Wait. Yes, it is.
It is. That's why that's funny.
I know. That's why I was trying to make the joke go longer, but
Yeah.
failures here.
Yep. All right.
So what do we got?
First off, big thank you to our show sponsor.
Yep.
RCbattery.com. Be sure to hit them up for all your LiPo battery needs and also chargers and accessories and all that good stuff. They just recently restocked, and by the time this comes out, they may or may not be back out of stock of all their popular items. Because my word, they're good. It's good stuff, and they burn through it quick.
It goes fast. Like their stock goes so fast. They're like. The meme that he put, it's like our driver is leaving. No, Michael's leaving the warehouse right now.
Yeah,
it was funny. So just get on there and get your order in because you don't want to have to wait. But they're always restocking as quickly as they can. So check them out.
Follow them on social medias, and you can keep up to date with when their stuff goes back in stock.
And they have some amazing deals. So and so far. Really impressed with
I'm
seeing.
I'm loving mine. So, all right, moving on. News. So we don't really have any regular news from us. So I wanted to jump back into some previous stuff we've talked about, which is events.
Yes.
Because, it's spring. Events are starting up.
Mm-hmm.
There are more than I can keep track of and more than I will try.
Yeah, you got a bunch on here.
I listed 3.
Yeah.
These are 3 of the big ones coming up over the next couple months. The first one, not necessarily in chronological order, but the first one I've listed is Small 2021. This is it's in Mayflower, Arkansas from June 3rd to June 6th. I will post a link to where you can find all the rest of the details for this event. But it is a electric fest. I think it's electric only. It may be small nitro engines as well.
Okay.
But it's, like it says, small. It's small aircraft.
So
geared towards like
my slow stick could qualify, right?
I don't know actually.
Or would that be too big?
I don't know if they go by weight or if they go by wingspan or engine size.
Yeah. So your flying wing.
My flying wing would probably qualify.
Yeah.
My F-16 might.
Unless it's because your F-16. No, you've got not a super big engine in that.
No,
thing.
it's pretty.
Yeah. So all right, cool.
So if there's that coming up, be sure to check it out if you're in the area or would like to make road trips. One day I'll make it out there. The next one up is in Toledo, Ohio, the Toledo RC Swap Meet and Fun Fly.
That sounds interesting.
So it's April 9th and 10th, so it's a short weekend. But it is a huge, it's a big deal.
Swap
but
meet and gosh,
so it's
that
a
would
big
be fun to do.
Right?
It sounds like
so big convention hall or whatever, full of tables, full of airplanes and accessories and all that stuff, and then flying.
They have flying also.
So it's like the gun show for airplanes.
That sounds amazing.
A gun show with a gun range, but for airplanes with an airport.
If any of these shows want to invite us out, we would be happy to have an invitation, and then we can talk about getting out there. But
getting out there would be an adventure.
Yes.
So again, look for the links in the description. And the final one I have listed is NEAT. It's in Downsville, New York, September 16th through the 19th. This is, I think this is an electric-only festival.
Isn't that what NEAT is like?
It's
an
Northeastern
acronym,
something.
Aeronautics.
I'm really terrible. I'm sorry. I'll put stuff.
There'll be stuff.
I'll try and put description. Yes, there will be stuff in the links. The links in the descriptions.
There'll be stuff in the links, and there'll be links in the description.
Yes.
It's our first time, people. It's our first time.
Yes, because I've got to make this an easy episode to edit for myself. And there are even more events than that. You can go to the modelaircraft.org and check their events page. You can go to RCGroups and check their events page. There's so many. These are just some of the big ones coming up. So look for the event nearest to you or the one that seems the most interesting. And
Toledo, that one sounds...
Yeah. I'd love to get out to a swap meet and a fun fly.
And I have a little bit of extra cash, so that would be even better to go.
It would be dangerous.
Extra cash.
So there's that. Do you have any news, Stephen?
Honestly, I don't. Haven't done anything. My news this week is...
Your product update?
Yeah, my product update is
let's move over there.
So as I was putting my flight test tiny trainer together, I was hooking up the power pod, getting the motor hooked up and everything like that. Talked about that last time. And when I powered it on, got my receiver hooked up and started, transmitting all the data that it can do. Only I'm not doing anything with that data yet. And the motor, I turned on the motor, and it acted like it was wired wrong. Well, this is a wire. I mean, this is a brushless motor with no whatever it requires for it to be, synced something or another.
A
I
sensor?
Can't remember. Yeah, it doesn't have that. You just plug it in and let it rip.
Standard RC motor.
Yeah, so I'm playing around with it, and finally I take it all apart, and this thing is just not working. It's like it's been damaged. Can't see any damage on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's the motor or it's ESC. I haven't tried a different motor on it, and I haven't tried the motor on a different controller. So that's my next thing that I probably will do this weekend or maybe it's sometime later this week. And so because I want to see what, if one of them is bad, so then I can contact Flite Test and see what I can do about getting either a replacement or whatever for that. And that was their PowerPod A.
Power Pack A.
Power Pack A. But everything else so far, I've got a little bit more of the tiny trainer put together. I had a little bit more, but then I had to take that all apart when I was troubleshooting the motor. But that's all I have. That's all I've been working on. I haven't done anything. It's been kind of a crazy couple days, couple weeks since we last recorded, and so I haven't had a chance. Let me rephrase that. I haven't taken the chance. I haven't made time to do it.
I hear you.
So what do you got?
So I've got new products. It's not a triangle box. It's a regular square box, but it came from Willy Nillies.
Yeah, so does that mean it's a motor?
This is the Gentle Lady Power Pod that they put out.
That is going to be so awesome.
So it comes with these vacuum form pieces and some laser cut balsa to hold the motor and stuff. There's a big old, a 50-something page PDF instructional on how to put this together. Thankfully, it's mostly pictures.
Good.
And then while I was at it, I also picked up the power pack that they sell that runs this thing.
That's a tiny motor.
This is a Raystar BR1306 brushless motor.
That is tiny.
I'll put a better picture of it up, but yeah, it's about as big. It's got the diameter of a penny.
3100 kV.
Yeah.
Wow, it's pretty powerful though.
Oh yeah, it's gonna spin. It's gonna swing a 5-inch prop. So I've got that motor.
That's awesome. It's tiny. I mean, it's hard for you guys to see. Like you said, there'll be some picture somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And I got these all as a kit. 'Cause, this is the power pack that they sell that they recommend and have tested.
Okay, cool.
On the system.
With this system.
And then I've got this little Hornet 6-amp ESC and BEC.
cow, that's not much bigger than the motor.
It's super tiny. Then it also came with these little 2mm bullet connectors and JST plugs for plugging or connecting your ESC to your battery and your ESC to your motor. I will not be using the JST plugs because I hate them. I will be using XT60s
because he hates the JST.
Yeah, they're terrible. Then it came with 2 5x3 props. So just standard propellers.
So one of the motor packs that I bought came with a 3-prop 5-inch. If you want to try it,
that could be interesting.
It should be powerful enough to spin it.
Yeah, possibly.
But
and then another 2S 350 milliamp LiPo battery. I already have 2 of these, so now I have 3.
And they will be updated.
I will.
He hates JST.
It's got the JST plug. I'll change that out for the XT60. Or XT30, excuse me.
In case y'all didn't know, Derek hates the JST connector. Just throwing that out there.
Well, and one of the nice things about Willy Nillies is they put a lot of care into their kits and what they sell. So every order comes with a shipping invoice and all that, but they always do a handwritten little note, and it says, "Thank you, Derek. Have fun and God bless, Doug and Becky."
That is pretty awesome. Honestly, that is cool. That in itself is like, I want to support them even more.
Oh yeah, no, because these people are amazing. Funny thing is, they were posting on their Facebook this last week. They finally got caught up on all their orders.
Yeah.
So they had time to go fishing. That is the first time they've been caught up in months because they have been shipping thousands of kits.
That is awesome, though.
I think since they've been up and running, they've shipped over 6,000 kits.
Awesome. Like that's great.
So
I love to hear that.
willynillies.com. Go check them out. If you get on, they have a forum website, willynillies.info. Where people will post pictures and build logs and videos and stuff. I've got a build log there going for my gentle lady. I'll put a link. And then I've also got a build log on RCGroups that's a copy of the same thing.
Yeah, I've seen the RC Group one. It's starting to look pretty nice, like what you've done.
Yeah.
Your build logs is what I'm talking about. I mean, what you've done here is pretty awesome, too.
So that is my latest product. I'm super excited for that. It's going to be pretty intense to build because there's 2... You clamshell the pieces of the power pod together, and then you glue around those, and then you add some fiberglass tape with some some epoxy, and then
you have to trim them
and then you get tricky with how you once the motor's in, it will never come back out. Like it is a permanent fixture.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So you got to test everything beforehand to make sure that it works. So thankfully, since it sits on top of the plane, it shouldn't ever take any impact. Unless I really mess it up.
You just don't let me drive it.
Yeah.
Fly it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's all I've got in the way of new stuff, which I'm super excited for.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. That's going to be really awesome when you get that put together.
Yeah.
I'm super, super excited to see. I'm hoping you'll have that done by the end of the season.
I should have this plane ready to fly in the next month.
You think so?
That's my hope. Because I've got the wings sitting here. There's only a couple more pieces to add, and then I need to glue the 4 sections together.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to project updates because we have not been out recently.
No, neither one of us have been out, so that's a good segue right into project updates.
All I need to do is glue the pieces of the wings together, finish shaping the wing tips, and glue those on. And then I just move on to covering.
Yeah.
Once it's covered, then I need to glue the tail surfaces onto the fuselage, but that happens after covering.
It looks nice. I mean, it's coming right along. I'm super excited to see you take it out and fly it.
Me too.
So
it's going to be awesome.
But
so that is my project updates. I've also one more thing. Along with that, I've also done all the tracing of the wings for the wing drawings, the wing assembly drawings that I'm making as part of this whole thing. Now I just need to add the little detailed notes saying what is what and where it goes and all that.
Very awesome.
So
very, very awesome.
It's coming along.
Yeah. So that's way more impressive than any of my work that I've done. on any of my projects because you already heard about my project. And I currently am failing at putting it together. So, he's getting fancy over here. He's putting it together.
Well, right now, so I just slip the wing joiners into place, and you can get an idea of what it looks like.
Yeah, for you on the podcast.
On the audio, we're sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
On the video, you're about to see the naked, unglued wing sections.
That is so nice looking.
So it's a 48-inch wingspan.
It does not fit from the distance where we are with the camera.
I have to go behind us, and it still doesn't fit in the frame.
Nope.
Oh, there it is.
Right
it
there.
fits in the frame. Okay. It's
there you go.
My head. So, yeah, there it is. The 4 sections with the polyhedral. There's that little couple degrees of dihedral in the middle, and then the sharper angle at the outside. So, and then right now it's just slip fit together.
Yep. But that won't be much longer, and you'll be putting it all together. And
yeah, so epoxy will be used to do the wing joiners, and then these little angled braces, and then between the actual ribs that are touching each other, that will just be CA glue.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, it's looking gorgeous. If you haven't, check out Savage X86's
X89.
Savage X89. Sorry, I always do it wrong. His Instagram or our Instagram.
Don't check out my Instagram. It's locked down. It's a personal one. Check out our Instagram.
Oh, are you doing? Because I thought
all of my posts for the Gentle Lady on our
never mind.
Podcast Instagram.
Do it on RC Law and Chair Pilots podcast.
RCLCP podcast on Instagram.
Yeah, because he's been putting pictures on there. So and they look gorgeous. So check it out if you're listening. That is, it's coming right along. It's looking great.
It's going to be a short episode.
Yeah. So, as I already stated, like I haven't really had any new projects. I've been, working on other things which have not been RC related this last week.
Yeah.
But if this week's weather holds, I might actually be able to get out. Because I have some time coming up on Thursday that I might be able to. So I'm really hoping that it stays like it was today. And we'll have something. Whether it be an accident or flying, there'll be something.
Yeah. So another thing with outings and stuff, I did find a field that's a little closer to home and a lot more open than the last one I tried. But I may try and get out sometime with the high start and put my Spirit up in the air.
If you go at a time, and let me know when you're going, and I'll see if I can join you.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'd be happy to join you. I've got something that flies that I can go with.
Yeah, it's a public city property, and it's just an empty bare field.
Okay.
With just weeds and dirt. So I figure that's a fair enough place to try and fly at.
Yeah, weeds and dirt. Can't hurt.
Exactly. It's plenty big enough for my high start to go up to full length. I'll still only use my short string because I've got 150, 250, and a 500-foot string on top of the 100-foot rubber. So I'll use the short string. That way it puts me up at a reasonable altitude, not an excessive altitude.
What's excessive?
400 feet. Plane, I get that we want to be able to fly higher than 400 feet. Seeing any plane smaller than 2-meter wingspan at 400 feet is near impossible.
When I take my DJI up to max height, it disappears. You can't see it.
Yeah.
It's gone.
So there's that.
Like you might be able to see it at night, but we're not supposed to be flying at night. So
that's a different monster.
So 400 feet is crazy. Like if you got a big, 10-foot wingspan or something, then
if you're one of the guys that's doing like the cross-country glider flights, those you're high starting those, and like you get off the high start at 500 feet sort of thing, and then you get up to 1,000 feet, and then you cross country with it, and you stay up there that whole time. Like that, I get. I may be exaggerating on the elevation, but still, you get my point. Those are the guys that need more than 400 feet. The rest of us guys, even if you're flying a huge scale bomber that's like 12-foot wingspan, which is huge, you're not going to be over 400 feet. You might get close to it, but like that's really high.
It really is. It is really, really high. I'm not excusing the height limit, but like it's plenty to be able to do most any flying.
Yeah, most flying is easily done within 400 feet.
Yeah. Like my glider, I sit probably around 110 feet max.
Yeah.
Mostly because I can't get it to climb higher.
Yeah, one of these times you're going to have to let me fly that because I'm sure it can go higher.
It doesn't. Maybe if I change out the blade. I have 3 different blades. Yeah, 3 more blades to try on there. And so... oh, wait, no, that glider doesn't. It's the slow stick that I have 3 blades for.
Yeah.
The glider, I don't have any other blades. It is what it is.
All right.
So it just doesn't.
That's fair. All right. So I wanted for beginner tips because we're already at that point and we're only 20 minutes into this thing.
Yeah, this is going to be a relatively short episode, but I think next time we'll have a little bit more content.
I think so. RCGroups put out an article on the 8th of March titled Top 5 Tips for Beginner RC Pilots. And I kind of wanted to go through this and chat about it a bit. Click the link.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But it popped up another link.
Yeah. Follow the links. All right. So this is written by one of their writers, Jason Cole. Yep. And the first tip, start with the right airplane. Now, this is something that I've been thinking a lot about because I kind of feel bad for Steven because I didn't kind of push him towards a good trainer airplane. Yes, the Elf was a good airplane, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you did well with it. But it wasn't necessarily the best starting airplane.
Probably not.
Like we would have done better to have started you on the Tiny Trainer.
Most likely, yes.
So,
but that's okay.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's live and learn, right?
Exactly. Like that, the Tiny Trainer was my first airplane. After that, I forget which one was the next one I really flew. I've gone through several.
Yeah, you have several in here.
But starting with something simple to fly and simple to fix really makes the whole process of learning to fly much more rewarding and much easier. So
because you don't have to go through all of the headaches of because it's simpler to fix, and so like even if you crash, you're able to get back up and fly relatively quick.
Yeah.
Without having to go through and get fiberglass from your or carbon fiber from your buddy and glue it and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. So let's see. Does he have recommendations?
One thing that I like, because this is actually a great first tip. Tiny Trainer, Flite Test. They have one of their videos that they have. It starts with the same thing. It's like they go through this same list, starting with the right plane, right? Yeah. And that is I think that is a perfect analogy. Now, having gone through a couple different planes and everything, I agree 100%. Like start with that one plane that can gradually take you from a chuck glider style to powered, basically with full control. Like something like that would be amazing. I'm not promoting Flite Test, but their Tiny Trainer has that same thing. And the reason I bring that up is because it does. You can chuck glide it. You can put a motor on it. You can have 2-channel, 3-channel,
and 4-channel.
And 4-channel, yes. And so like it's a perfect. And I'm not. There's other ones out there that do the same thing. I just happen to be working on that one.
Oh yeah.
And so it's a great example to upgrade you and evolve you through the beginnings and learnings of this wonderful hobby.
Yeah.
And it's relatively inexpensive.
Well, and yeah, for sure. And then one thing also to consider, since we do more than just planes on this podcast.
Yeah.
Boats and cars don't have the same learning curve as airplanes, so that's why we're focusing on this. So
yeah, our
boat and car guys, boats we haven't gotten to yet. One day, cars. Segue. You know that company that makes the 1/74th scale German U-boat that I want to build?
Yes.
That's $1,300. You can buy 3D printed files
for it
for a smaller version of the same boat.
Are you going to be sending me files soon to print?
They're $190, so no.
Oh, okay.
But that's cheap. That's $190, and then hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of printing
is cheaper than $1,300.
It's potentially, yeah.
But
RC submarine.
That German U-boat is amazing.
Oh my word, it looks so good.
I'm very interested to get into more cars and get into more boats, as we already have done the segue into it. I might as well talk about it a little bit. My biggest problem is cars simple to get into unless you're going hobby grade. Hobby grade, like a hobby grade jumps you from your $50, $60 to $50 to $80 RC car to $80 to $300 RC car.
Oh yeah, well the SCX 24s I have, those were $110 each.
Exactly, and they're amazing.
Oh yeah,
but they're the low level of the entry point for the hobby level of RC cars, and that's what the difference. Your Radio Shack special, your Walmart special, your whatever special, those aren't hobby level RC. It's a great place to start and wet your feet.
Oh yeah,
but it's not the hobby grade, and so when it breaks, like
finding replacement parts is a new one.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do something like I've done and start printing your own or modifying and printing your own to make it do, because that's what I've done, and that truck is fun to drive.
Oh yeah.
Still working on it when I'm working on it.
Yeah.
But
so back to planes though. Good planes to start with. High wing planes, so planes that have the wing sitting on top of the fuselage, with some dihedral, just because that helps keep you level in flight. Ailerons or not, that's up to you. Landing gear, be it tricycle or tail dragger, doesn't really matter, because your first flights you're not going to be doing roll off the ground takeoffs, ROG takeoffs.
Yeah,
you're going to be chucking it into the air. So you just even if you don't have landing gear at all, learning how to belly land is still good.
Yep.
It takes the same techniques to belly land as it does to land on landing gear.
Yeah.
So don't worry too much about that, but definitely high wing, something that's designed very stably. So be that a high wing Cessna or a Cub, or like E-Flite makes the Apprentice in various variations and sizes. Horizon Hobby has a couple more, but or like the Timber is a pretty good one. And the term Timber is a good one because it'll start you off really simply, but it can graduate you up into full aerobatic flight.
I was going to say that one you can do up to just like the Tiny Trainer. You can have more.
You can graduate. Options. You can grow up with that one. Yeah. So look for planes like that when you're first starting out. And again, always recommend flight tests because they're easy to build, easy to fix, and they're cheap. So it makes it easy. It makes it less painful when you crash.
Yeah.
Because nothing's more painful than watching
$5 in foam.
Well, watching $5 in foam crash is not painful. Watching hours and hours of balsa and hundreds of dollars of foam crash is painful.
Yes.
So, all right, moving on.
Yeah.
Find the right place to fly.
I like this in here. Yeah. This is actually really good.
So this is very general, or airplane specific. That's the word.
Yeah.
Because like my glider, my 2-meter glider, the Spirit.
You can't.
That is very specific where I can fly it. I either need to have a big slope with lots of wind, or a huge field.
But we have to remember that this is for beginners, and that
that's not a beginner plane.
Tip 1 was finding the right plane. So now that we've got that small 24-inch to maybe 36-inch wing to tip-to-tip wing, so this is a small one. And so,
you're going to want to go to a park, at least a football field.
And one thing they put in here,
American football,
is, well, I mean...
okay, I guess a soccer field's pretty big, too.
A football field, it works.
Yep, okay, carry on.
But they talk about a cul-de-sac. So if you live in a cul-de-sac for a smaller plane, that's not a horrible place to start, assuming not everybody parks in the circle.
Oh,
right?
For sure.
Like,
and it also, like, my simple Cub that I built was too big for a cul-de-sac. It takes up too much space.
Yeah.
I could probably do it, but it would be super tight.
Yeah. The Tiny Trainer would fly in a cul-de-sac.
It possibly could, yeah.
Because watching him, like it might not be the best place to start because too many windows.
You're pushing the limits on that.
But
one.
like it's if you're just doing gentle toss, first things. But I mean, that's what they mentioned here, but I'm with Derek. Like, finding a park, I think, is the best.
Yeah.
For your first one. Now, here's
we're
the
lucky.
problem.
We have a park that's nearby, that's just across the street from our houses. That is 600 feet long, north to south, and like 400 or 500 feet wide.
Yeah, it's got 2 baseball diamonds, kitty corner to each other. That's across the corner to each other, in case you don't understand my Utah speak. And and then you can have, there's at least 2 football fields on either side of those that you can put in there. So it's got a lot of open space, except on some Saturdays.
And it's full of people.
Yeah. But then we have another one, not really the best place for a beginner, because the Water Tower Park.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's on top of a water tower, and it's got these event pipes that are every
50 feet. 50 to 100 feet, yeah.
But for a smaller plane, or
I flew my my mini Mustang there, my flight test mini Mustang.
Yeah.
Flew great.
The glider I took out there and flew it. It was great because it's a nice open field except for those pipes, and it has a little bit of slope that you can try to get some lift off of, which makes it a great place. And if you're on the slope, then you're away from the pipes.
Yeah,
and it's more open right where the slope is. So it's a really great place.
I plan on taking the gentle lady there.
Oh, that'll be a perfect place for it.
Yeah. So look for big open fields. I personally recommend, especially on days that have some wind, if it's a field that is lined with trees, those trees you may not feel wind down below. Yeah. Well, no, it's that you have a wall of trees and it creates a windbreak. So as the wind comes over the trees, it breaks and then circles.
Yeah.
So you have pockets of dead air or sinking air.
Yeah, downforced air, and because of it coming up and over.
It's very turbulent. Yeah. So as you may have nice calm air where you're at, but as soon as you get up a little bit and you break above the trees, it becomes super windy.
Yeah.
So you got to be very careful of that.
Yeah, that's actually really, really great because you're not going to think about that when you're out there the first time. Especially if your park is surrounded by trees. So you want, trees are fine, but if you go somewhere where there's trees, just remember if there's any kind of breeze, when it gets up above that tree line, it's going to be a completely different situation.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Yep. So, all right.
This one.
Next note, read the manual. Let me say that again. Read the manual. Not only to know how the plane flies, but how to put it together so that you make, because even if it's a plug and play like Steven's Radian, there was still some assembly required. He had to put the tail fin, the horizontal stabilizer in the right place and tape it down, which he didn't do initially. So making sure you know all the steps to put it together. Yeah, read the manual.
I thought I did.
All the steps to put it together, all the steps to properly balance it out and get it ready to fly.
Yeah, I like this. He says, not checking the control surfaces on the plane could spell disaster.
Oh yeah, there's nothing worse than trying to pull back and diving.
Yes, like
when you want to go up and you go down, that's terrifying.
We talked about this first or second episode, like crap. Check your crap, right?
Yeah.
You just go through each of the different portions of the plane and your controller. Make sure nothing's malfunctioning and everything. And for some planes, that's 15, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Just checking it before. So you've put it together, and now you're checking everything. That's,
that 10, 15 minutes or whatever it takes to check and make sure everything's operating properly will help you have a better time flying and hopefully prevent any serious disasters.
Yes. And if you ever have a hard landing, I would do that process again.
Yeah, check everything again. Make sure nothing came loose.
Your normal landings, you can probably do a couple before you have to check it. Like if you have nice soft landings, you can probably go 2 or 3 before you check it. But if you have a harder landing or even, heaven forbid, a rough landing or a crash, you definitely want to check it. Like if it's fly-worthy afterwards, because, I've had a couple harder than I would like landings.
Oh, yeah.
And, I get in there and, get your field kit ready and when you're, getting out there and, check that. So that, reading the manual, I like that. That is a great a great one.
Number 4, you will crash.
That is, you will.
There will come a time where you will lose orientation, or you will lose signal, or someone will hit you, and your plane, your plane will crash. That is inevitable. Yeah. I have crashed every airplane I have put in the air, to some extent.
I have had, yes.
Tiny Trainer I crashed. The Sparrow I've crashed. The Simple Cub I've crashed. The Spirit. My Mini DLG. My Mini Mustang.
Every single one of them.
Every single one of them. I don't think I have any other planes that I put in the air.
So I have not crashed
even my FT freighter, the little tiny thing that I fly with my. Oh yeah, I've nosedived that several times. Yeah, but it weighs nothing, so it just bounces. It's great.
So I didn't crash my DJI, but the first one that I had that I'd borrowed, I would say I had a rough encounter with a chain link fence more than calling it a crash.
Oh my!
Because it didn't ever hit the ground. It stayed on the chain link. but like that, you will crash it. It's gonna happen, and prepare yourself for that. And then we've talked about that before. And
I've crashed the slow sticks.
Oh,
because I did try and fly those for a bit.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Oh, well.
You were there for it.
Really?
Yeah, I spun it over and nosedived it.
I totally don't even remember that.
Yeah.
Huh.
So there you go.
Cool. I haven't crashed those yet. Because I haven't taken them out and flown them.
To help with the crashing, like, pay attention, have a good spotter, someone there with you. Check your crap, make sure everything is working properly, and that'll improve your chances of a successful flight.
And a successful crash. Okay, I do want to say that...
I'm curious what you mean by that.
Well, so just because you've crashed your plane, like there's different severities of crashing it. Like wrapping it around a tree, okay, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Doing a straight nosedive into the ground, that's another thing. But you can have, like, that's why I've started using like rough landings, less than cushion, that's why I use that kind of terminology when I'm describing some of my harder landings, because they're not full on crashes. What I would necessarily, I didn't wrap it around a tree and I didn't nosedive it, right? But it is still would be considered a crash because it didn't land as it should have, and so like being able to maybe grab the stick and maybe drop it up a little bit, to help, because you're going down, there's nothing you can do. Maybe, maybe you have a brownout and it just is, if it like keep trying those controls, because if you gain control, then you might be able to pull up just enough to not like kill it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm not saying you're going to be able to save every crash. Sometimes your battery dies. You're done.
Your battery dies. You lose orientation and just pile drive it straight into the side of a hill. That's what I did with the Elf. Yeah, with my Mini DLG. I lost orientation. It just came over me.
I've had my Radeon where I thought it was upside down, and then I quickly realized it wasn't. And then it was upside down after that, and so I had to then reorient myself again because I overcompensated because I thought... Anyway, I didn't crash it because I was, 50, 75 feet in the air.
Lucky.
Yeah, so I recovered it, and then I flipped on the motor and went back up and tried it again.
There you go.
So, but like losing, like he said, losing orientation is like an easy one, and all of a sudden up is down and down is up, and you know what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, for sure.
What's the last one?
Final one. Remember to have fun, because if you're not having fun, then what's the point?
Yeah. Why are you doing it?
Because yes, it's a lot of money you're putting into it, and yes, it's a lot of time, and like you're gonna crash and stuff. But if you're not enjoying, like, crashes are no fun, that's a given.
Yes.
But the rest of it is a lot of fun. And if you're not enjoying it, then what are you doing?
Those were some of the best times with my Elf.
Oh yeah.
Just get out there, flick. I love the Elf because it was quick and easy to set up. The batteries lasted forever.
Mm-hmm.
I could just flick it, and
you were good to go. Yeah, and that's why I'm looking forward to the
so
Gentle Lady and the Power Pod. Is I can just take it, and just like you do with the Radiant, just on a smaller thing, just take off and
then just glide her down.
Yeah,
fly around, and
it'll be a great time. So remember to have fun. If you have friends, it makes it even more fun.
And I think that is the most important one. Honestly, they put it at the last, but if you are so stressed out about crashing it, you're not enjoying the game. You're not having fun. Don't do it. Like, all that's going to do is shorten your life and make you angry.
It's going to give you wrinkles.
Yeah, and you don't want those. But just get out and have fun. Like enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to, get with your buddy that's got it. Find out what what controller he's got. See if it'll do a training mode. And have him take it out. He takes it up, fly it around.
Mm-hmm.
You take control, fly it around. He can take control whenever he wants. So the risk of crashing a plane is lessened. You're only buying the controller to begin with. I think that's a really great place to start. Because first and foremost is you're less likely to crash it. Because the person you're
doing trainer mode with a buddy box system, that helps.
They just take control. All they have to do, a lot of times, it's just a dead man switch. So they just let go, and then they have control.
Yep.
And so you don't even have to do anything. And
you just all of a sudden won't have control of your plane.
And they can recover it. So but then the point of doing it that way is so you can begin to relax and have fun, because that's what you want to do is have fun. And when you get that plane in the air and it's just doing the stuff that you want it to do,
it's pretty great.
Oh, it is. It is amazing. It really, really is amazing.
Yep.
There's not very many things that are funner than that. It's just relaxing. It's nice. It's just, you're out in the sun. You're just having a grand old time. I love it. I love it. I can't wait for the weather to clear a little better and get out and fly my planes.
All right. Anything else you want to add? I think we've killed this one.
Yep.
Little short this time. Not by much. We actually were able to talk that last one quite a bit. So remember, get out there, have fun, and with that,
I'm going to switch over here so I can remember.
Yeah.
When flying inverted, up is down and down is expensive. RPMs is how hard you hit the ground. I almost forgot what I was going to say. And torque is how far you have to dig to get it out.
Happy flying, guys.